coverage you can count on. You're watching WKRG News 5 at 6:30.
A fun night of high school football in Mobile County turns into terror after false reports of an active shooter. Now at 6:30, reaction from frightened students and why police say the whole thing was a big misunderstanding. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Roseanne Haven.
And I'm Peter Albrecht. News 5's Mary Smith spoke with those scared students and police today about that incident Friday night at Mary G. Montgomery High School.
She tells us how miscommunication added to the stress.
What was supposed to be a fun night of football here at Mary G. Montgomery High School in Sims turned out to be pretty scary for students, athletes, and their parents.
I was very scared. I really didn't know what was going on at first.
Marshall wasn't the only one at Friday night's Mary G. Montgomery football game thinking their worst fear may be true. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office says someone overheard a conversation in the bleachers about a shooting during a robbery nowhere near school. It snowballed and turned into chaos.
And I saw a Mobile County deputy sheriff with a big gun and told us to get into the concession stand. I tried to stay calm because there was a little girl in there just crying her eyes out because she was so scared. Her mother was there praying with her.
The incident lasted about 15 to 20 minutes before everyone was cleared to go home. Law enforcement say it was a miscommunication and no one will be charged. A representative with Mobile County Public Schools says that the school used its protocol for active shooters using its ALICE program when this incident took place Friday night. Reporting in Sims, Mary Smith, WKRG News 5.
How many times have you found a parking spot in downtown Mobile, but you didn't have any quarters? Well, that problem could be going away. The city plans to install new meters in the coming months. They'll let you pay with a credit card or with your phone in addition to coins. Parking hours would stay the same Monday through Friday from 8 until 6. Now, the city council still has to approve the new meters. Right now, deputies in Santa Rosa County need your help to find a car that could be connected to a man found shot to death on the side of the road. We have learned the man is 21-year-old Tyler Lee Howell. News 5's Brian Clerkley has an update on the investigation and why one woman says she's terrified.
Santa Rosa County deputies say Howell's body was found right here in this area, John Ham Road, right near Highway 87. And now deputies are looking for a specific car they say could have been involved. Monday afternoon, you could see deputies canvassing the area of John Ham Road, where Tyler Lee Howell was found with a gunshot wound Sunday night. Deputies say Howell was from Milton, and the person involved in the shooting could have known him, so it was not random. Deputies want everyone to be on the lookout for this car.
Right now, we're looking for a very important piece of evidence, which is a 2015 blue Chevy Cruze with a Florida tag of 0559 RUB. That's 059 RUB.
Deputies say Santa Rosa County does not have a lot of homicides, so this is an odd situation. One woman who lives down the street says she still can't wrap her head around all this.
I was literally terrified. My husband, he left out at like 5:30 going to work, and he had called me and told me what was going on, and I was horrified.
Deputies say they will continue to follow the leads that they have, but neighbors tell News 5 they will continue to be on edge knowing there's a killer on the loose.
Well, I know the neighbors around here, they get very horrified, like I am, when they hear of such thing, because it's not something that always happens. And my mother, she come by this morning and she was like, just keep your doors locked.
Deputies say if you have any information on that blue Chevy Cruze, you need to call Crime Stoppers. In Milton, I'm Brian Clerkley, WKRG News 5.
News 5 is your local election headquarters, and today is the deadline to register to vote before the November midterm elections in Alabama. New at 6:30, we're taking a closer look at whether young voters will show up to the polls and how that might impact the midterms. CBS News says the issues motivating youthful voters range from the gun and immigration debates to a strong economy and the rising cost of education. Despite differing views on high-stakes issues, young voters agree on two things. America is politically divided, and the midterms stand to have a major impact on the country. And when it comes to President Trump and gun control, here are what some young voters had to say.
Continuing the president's agenda is something that's on the top of my list.
Sandy Hook happened when I was in 7th grade, and this has just kept happening over and over again, and there really hasn't been any sort of legislative initiative to help curb this gun violence.
The Republican National Committee pushes back against the idea that young voters are more likely to be liberal than conservative. Rock the Vote, a nonprofit that registers and engages young voters, says current young voters are less likely than ever before to identify with a particular political party. You can find complete election coverage ahead of November's big day on our website. That's WKRG.com. Just click on News and then click on your local election headquarters. Well, if you're hoping for some fall-like weather, you're in luck as you take a live look at downtown Mobile. Are there signs of rain on the way tomorrow, though? Here's Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals.
There's a sign right there. It's to our west. It's to our southwest. There's rain in the Gulf of Mexico, and even though that looks like heavy rain, it's not moving directly toward us. But the short version is, yes, we're going to see some rain. Still dry, though, at Pensacola's airport. A calm evening on the Gulf Coast, even though it's cloudy. 71 degrees there. The dew point has risen into the lower 60s. This morning when you started your day, the dew point was in the 40s, so bit by bit, moisture levels have been increasing in the atmosphere. The rest of our current temperatures in Mobile, 72 degrees, Leakesville at 68, and Gulf Shores also 68 degrees. Because of the clouds and the extra humidity, we're not going to be as cool as we were last night, but even these 50s and lower 60s, that's about average for this time of the year. Now, here's the first change. While you sleep, the rain approaches. It won't be extreme, it won't be very heavy, but if you are in a coastal county along the I-10 corridor, you're more likely to start tomorrow wet than dry. I'll have the rest of that story in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Alan. Movie production in Mobile is getting hot right now. So if you've ever wanted an opportunity to appear on the big screen, now may be your chance. We caught up with the director of This Is the Year, a new romantic comedy movie being shot in Mobile right now. They were using a house on Macy Place off Government Street for a scene. This Is the Year is one of 2 movies being made now on the Gulf Coast. Another, Arkansas, being filmed on the Eastern Shore, has a lot of people talking after one of its stars, Liam Hemsworth, has been seen in various places around town. Not only is a piece of Hollywood in our backyard, these film productions also put a lot of local people to work. So if you want to try to be in one of these films, go to movie.com to sign up to be an extra. We are told, though, an extra in these films will not be a paid job. And if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, come on out to WKRG's 2nd annual Ace of Hearts Poker Run. Hundreds of bikers will join me and other WKRG News 5 team members, all in support of the American Heart Association. It is so much fun. Although it's a motorcycle event, you don't have to ride to take part. Come on out for the fun. Registration begins Saturday morning at 9 o'clock at Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson and Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. The ride starts at 11. We're going to meet up at the Floribama for a big old party. You can skip the lines and register early on WKRG.com. If you go ahead and pre-register, you're going to get a really cool Ace of Hearts patch for free.
Coming up on News 5 at 6:30, you hate those annoying robocalls, and experts say they don't expect them to let up anytime soon, but we'll tell you about some new technology that's hoping to cut down on the calls and the annoyance.
Plus, new treatment options for those with a unique form of breast cancer, the drug that helps the immune system better attack cancer cells.